Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Tonight we have a Link to the Past, No Major Glitches League Season 2 match in the Dark World Round 4. We have RequiemOfSpirit versus Cheamo. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Who knows? Anyway, tonight on comms we have Fox Lisk, and they will take it from here.
Hello, thank you, baseball. We are just about ready to get going. Requiem is claiming that there's somebody at his door. I think he's just trying to put this off because he's nervous about racing in front of all of you people. So I hope he's watching the restream so that he'll be even more nervous now that I reminded him about it. But yeah, we should be getting off to a start in just a moment. Got him! I can't believe Requiem didn't tell every single person that might possibly knock on his door about his plans this evening. It's outrageous that he's doing this to you. He's doing it to you, you know. This isn't just a thing that happened. He's doing it to the viewers. It's an act of aggression. Yeah, to baseball in particular. Yeah. Probably one of those weirdos who likes soccer. Pie in the oven, yeah. Hold on, I forgot to eat dinner. Give me just 1 second. The soccer world championships are going on. How much of the world participates in that? Like 3 countries? Nobody cares about soccer, right? RequiemOfSpirit has pressed ready. Oh, his stream was not synced. Okay. All right, we are off to the races in just a second. The least popular sport, right? The most popular sport, of course, is Link to the Past. 206 countries participated in qualifiers. That's less than the number in Tam's name. So who even cares? All right, we're going to get started here in just about 20 seconds. I will give a brief intro about the players. So this is the Dark World bracket, which is the top 16 players who wanted to play in this season of League. I'm not going to explain the exact qualification process, but basically the fastest 16 players. This is Requiem's first season of League. I think Cheamo played last league, but I don't have the records for that up. I'll pull that up in a minute. This is the 0-3 bracket, so both of these players have not been having a great event. Got a couple forfeits in there and a couple losses. Requiem played against Humbug and Ray and Spleeby and lost those matches. His match against Spleeby was really close. That was a fun one to watch. Cheamo has raced against Doomtap and Bitey and Flipio. Lost his races. Competition is tough. These guys are in the 0-3 bracket, but they are still in the top 16, right? Somebody has to lose the races. These guys are both really good runners. I know Requiem better than I know Cheamo. He is classically a big practicer and a big resetter, but he's been doing a lot more no reset runs and actually finishing runs lately. So we'll see what he can do today. Requiem has the PB advantage. He has a 125.40 to Cheamo's 127.14, which is a fairly significant advantage in PBs, but definitely not conclusive. You know, we play the races out for a reason. So we're going through Escape now. This is the first segment of the game, as you can tell by how the race just started. And it's sort of an intro to the game, casually, right? It's teaching you how to move and how to walk around and how keys work and stuff. So it's not super complicated. We don't really have many items or tech or anything like that we can do. It's mostly about not like wasting movement. Like we saw right there, Cheamo had a little bit of a stumble there where he walked into a rail for a second. Not really a big deal. Only cost a few frames, but that's just the kind of thing you're focusing on in the segment because there's not much else to worry about. We're killing some guards. We're grabbing some keys. We're opening some doors. Looks like Requiem's getting through it just a little bit cleaner here. Coming up on the first sort of mini boss of the game, Ball and Chain Guards is actually just sort of a normal enemy, but it's the most powerful enemy in this sequence by quite a lot. Cheamo has to boom the guard. Requiem gets to just ignore him. Pretty clean 8/ out of Requiem. Good start. Cheamo getting a tink there, I think, but not taking any damage is good. We saw Cheamo grab the lamp before talking to Zelda. It doesn't really matter, but it's easier to not waste frames by doing that. Oh, wow. I can't believe he got poked there. So we saw both players go for what we call the 8/ Ball and Chain Guard strat, which we call it that for the obvious reason that you slash 8 times. It's sort of... it's technically the fastest strat, but it's the fastest by such a tiny amount that a lot of players opt to go for the much easier one-pot strat. I don't know why I'm talking about that. I just don't have much to talk about. They're pumping. Do you want me to explain pumping? Press 1 in chat if you want me to explain pumping. Requiem getting pretty slow aggro on that blue guard. Cheamo also good. Oh no, some people said 1 and there are people that might not even be joking. Now I'm going to actually have to do it. So I'm not going to go into super extreme detail, but if you're walking up or left, the way Link's movement pattern works is that he moves 2 pixels and then 1 pixel. So if you're walking up or left and you tap the orthogonal direction, you can reset your movement so you can get 2 pixels and then 2 pixels again on the next frame instead of 2 1 2 1. So you can have some like 2 1 2 2 2 1 2 1 or whatever. And it's just like a small movement optimization. We do it all over the place. It's most important in the escape and Eastern just because we get the boots after Eastern, and the boots are way more important than pumping. Like dashing is just a million times faster than anything else. But we do it a lot in here because there's nothing else to do and it saves some time. And it's really good in water. You'll see Requiem here moving at sort of a slight diagonal. He's holding left and mashing up as hard as he can. That's to reset his movement pattern in the water to get more 2-pixel movements. The other thing to do when you're just walking around, pumping is one thing. Requiem getting incredibly good key rat luck. Whiffs it a little, but still very fast. Cheamo getting really bad key rat luck. That's cool. Yeah, the other thing is just like you want to walk diagonal whenever you can, just because you move more pixels per frame diagonally. You want to enter doors head on because nudging against doors is slower than other movement. Just a ton of really small things like that. Save frames here and there. Requiem gets out with a gold escape. Nice work, Requiem. Requiem is playing on the SNES Classic, which saves a lot of time on the text here. You can see Cheamo's text just scrolling slower. That saves almost 2 seconds just from the bad lag emulation in the stream. Yeah, there are a bunch of places where you don't want to move diagonally, and also after you have boots, you want to avoid diagonal movement a lot more. Both players getting stuck on the priest a little bit. That priest's hitbox is surprisingly big, and if you hold diagonal against most things in this game, you sort of slide along them. But some things, including that priest, are sticky, And so if you try to diagonal a little early, you won't slide along the priest. You'll just get stuck on him. Yeah, exactly. You see there, cheamo was mashing his face into the tree while holding diagonal. That's just because diagonal movement is good, and you don't slow down when you're holding diagonal against walls, so you just want to hold diagonals to, like, move diagonal as much as possible, but some things do slow you down, and then you don't want to. This is absurd traffic jam on the Octorok screen for cheamo. Oh. Alright, cheamo is going to be fine. There's a couple hearts inside Eastern, but this is a little bit annoying. So Requiem is first into Eastern Palace. We see there actually cheamo beating that blue guard on the stairs. You gotta pump to do that. You don't technically have to, but it makes it a lot easier. Even if you just pump a few times, you say it makes it a lot easier to beat that guard. Eastern is a lot like Escape, but there's more stuff, a little bit more stuff happening. It ramps up a little bit. Like this room that Requiem is entering, when we enter a certain part of the floor, 4 skeletons spawn around Link in sort of a cross pattern, and we just spawn 2 of them out of bounds. And we saw Requiem get it cleanly there. If your movement is a little bit off, it's easy to accidentally spawn 3. Really, Kaz? That's interesting. I just don't even bother with the boomerang. It only saves like 3 frames. We see both players getting those arrows there. Those are not strictly speaking necessary, but it's pretty unlikely to save time by skipping them. So almost everybody just gets them because it makes the early game easier and safer. 17 skeletons. I think that's how many there are in this whole dungeon, actually. This room, this big key chest here that Requiem just got, we have to pick up that pot and hit a switch under it that the anti-fairies are guarding, which you're supposed to kill all the enemies in the room and then the anti-fairies scatter, but we just damage boost on top of it. cheamo getting it too. Slightly worse damage boost, but that's not a big deal. Technically, there are infinite skeletons in the dungeon. That's what you sound like. Requiem is now in Oko for like almost everything in that back half of this dungeon. Sorry, by Oko I mean 1-hit KO. Like almost anything he touches will kill him. You have to be a little bit careful. Maybe he'll stop to grab a heart. I don't know if he knows where it is. I'm gonna give Requiem credit there and say that he did that room slowly on purpose to avoid getting hit because he's an Oko. NICFE. What does that mean, Requiem? What is he telling us? He's telling us that he died. Okay. So that's a pretty major setback for Requiem. That's going to cost, I don't know, a little over a minute. That's definitely something you can come back from, but obviously a really bad way to start off a race. The thing about Eastern is that we do a little bit of out-of-our-way movement, right? We do an extra loop around part of the dungeon, but basically if you die, you just have to go back the whole way. It's not really any faster to revisit, so it's a pretty punishing death. Hopefully, this disadvantage that Requiem is now at will inspire him to play his heart out, to come back like Aerie in the weekly. It's just like, I don't know. It depends on how you're feeling and what your personality is. Sometimes you're down a lot at the beginning and you think, all right, I'm going to prove that I can do this. And sometimes you get defeated and it makes you even worse. So hopefully he can rally. He was actually able to pick that pot up. Yeah, one thing that's funny is you're not used to doing some of these rooms in this direction. Oops. Okay. Alright, we've made progress. Requiem now into Armos. Cheamo got his boots. I accidentally loaded something in the wrong window and covered up the screen while he was doing super speed. But good job on the super speed. I believe in you. Desert is not... I don't think it's anybody's favorite dungeon. It's a lot of sort of boring dashes. You got the boots in the game. It's like, here's a bunch of straight lines that you can dash through to have fun with your new boots. Followed by the most stupidly difficult boss in the game. But first we have to get our book. We can't open Desert Palace without the book. Some more spin speeds here. Oh, he's gonna retry it. Alright, nice. I think that does technically save time if you get a second try. Spin speeds, cam button ball, RNG, and Lambo. Yeah, exactly. It's really easy to lose a lot of time failing spin speeds. TAM 216 spin speed. So spin speed is a trick where you slide your thumb from B to A with a spin charged, and you get in a funny state where you can't slash your sword and your feet wobble weirdly, and if you touch some stairs and come off of them correctly, you move at dashing speed in all directions. It's really fun. Moving that fast is fun, but it's really frustrating because it is a frame-perfect trick, and if your rhythm is slightly off or whatever, you can just fail it a bunch of times in a row. Synced iris transitions, very nice. Cheamo probably going to want to pick up extra rupees in here. We need 110 rupees to open the first Dark World dungeon, which we get 100 and... Well... Requiem! Oh my goodness! What was that? Okay, we made it through fine. That was really weird. I didn't see how he got in that situation. We're going to pull a bunch of rupees off of trees later. I don't want to like explain all the exact numbers, but basically he wants to be at 9 rupees here. So he'll probably stop for the pot, unless he just doesn't, and that's also fine. Oh, nice getting through those cannonballs. Yeah, so he got the good cannonball RNG, that's always good. Technically, it's not RNG. Technically, it's a frame roll. Thanks, Tam. Requiem, I don't know what just happened there. How did Requiem do Eastern Palace twice and leave with 1 rupee? How is that even legal? He should have like 40 rupees. Yeah, no, Yoho, Requiem is doing 100% run, so he got like 4 digs in Desert. It's an odd way to do that by Requiem. Walking right after killing the Devil Ant. Cheamo up into the back half of Desert. Popo Genocide Room coming up here is another potentially big chunk of RNG in this room. This Desert, I mean, if the Popos decide to do a 7-10 split on you. That's pretty normal RNG though. Oh, almost stopped enough to get the blue rupee, but got sucked in the door. Coming up on the boss of this dungeon here in a few rooms, which we call Lammo because it's short for Lanmolas. Very, very difficult fight. We don't have that much firepower at this point, and so we have to shoot arrows into the worms, which is a big part of why we've collected all of these arrows so far. And they just like, their movement is weird. Shooting the bow correctly is very, very difficult. It's very technically challenging. There's a lot of RNG to read and a lot of just execution mechanics to think about. Pretty good start there. 2 arrows in each worm, I think. Okay, not quite as good of a second cycle. I think he has 1 arrow left on each worm. I think he's going to clean this up with a 4. Yeah, I think that was a 4 cycle. It's not a bad fight. You can do it in 2 cycles, but that's very difficult and requires RNG to be pretty friendly. You're usually looking to have a 3 or 4 cycle, but obviously it depends a lot on how much time you put into practicing the fight. 4 cycle, very respectable. Requiem, neutral dashing in the room before Popo Genocide. Tisk tisk. More like lame-o, thank you. Correct. Cheamo coming up on fake flippers. This is our first... I'm not going to call it a major glitch, because this is no major glitches. This is our first moderate glitch. Was it a 3? Maybe it was a 3. One of the worms landed really early in one of the cycles, which I thought meant that it was an early 4, but maybe it was just a late 3. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but what he just did was very dangerous, in the sense that if you get hit during it, you're kind of out of luck. Requiem having a little bit more trouble on lane mode here, it looks like. Can maybe still pull out a 3? No. Okay. Looks like that was a 4 from Requiem as well. Basically, you're not supposed to swim yet. You can swim later in this game, but not yet. But if you land on the water and then you transition, screen transition, really fast, you can swim. But if you get hit while you're in that state, the game is like, oh, I forgot about you, but you're not allowed to be in here. And it kicks you out to the last place you were on land. But since the last place you were on land is on a different screen, it's really bad. So don't get hit. Generally, if that happens to you in a PB attempt... Holy crap, this squirrel on Chibo's side. Oh my goodness. If that happens to you in a PB attempt, it's just game over. You have to reset. But if it happens to you in the tournament, you can save and quit. Cheamo also playing that movement around those boulders really aggressively, but very well done. I was kind of worried, but he found a path through it that worked really well. That was great. The screen here is foreshadowing. Oh wow, interesting. That's probably slower than just dashing. Foreshadowing about the Dark World. There is only 3 shadows. Wow, great grammar, Tam. Can you talk about why Requiem has a boomerang equipped? No. Cheamo in the worst room in the game. I'm the only person on the mic, so I get to just say that. This is, I guess, not the only auto-scroller in the game, but it's one of the few auto-scrollers in the game. It's very long, and you have to kind of pay attention to it. So it's really boring. Requiem getting better squirrel luck. Oh, and he actually got really good RNG there. So normally when you do arm spin speed there, you have to wait for the sword spin to finish before you can, like, move again. But getting hit after you arm spin speed, but before the sword spin animation finishes, you actually get to start moving a little earlier. Most obnoxious room in the game. Yes, exactly. It's a little bit better Death Mountain for Requiem, entering with 1 more heart than Cheamo, but pretty similar overall. You can do some boomerang stuff in here to save a couple frames and not have to pay attention during the tile room, but neither player opted to do that. Cheamo going for the first bomb jump of the run there. Excuse me, I had to sneeze off mic. Very well done, using the spin setup. Oh wow, losing the bombs already this early. A very good way to get yourself positioned close enough to the pit to guarantee the bomb jump will work. There's a bunch of different ways to do that room, but I think that one's probably the most popular, safe, and good. Okay, on to Moldorm here. Not a great start. Okay, but fine. We're getting back into control of the fight. This fight is sort of famous among a lot of players, lower level. Oh boy, yeah, that's a pretty bad hit there. Sort of infamous for knocking you off and being hard to deal with. It's like definitely possible to get the fight under control, but it's extremely difficult, extremely challenging fight. Very hard to do at all, and even harder to do fast. Cheamo losing a bunch of time by taking a fall there at the very end of the fight, unfortunately. Opting not to dash straight upwards there, which I think is wise. Upwards dashes are more likely to get you killed. Okay. Alright, that was a good dash through for the last hit. Alright, so Moldorm's down for Cheamo. If Requiem has a first try fight without any falls, he can make up some time here. Requiem doing the same bomb jump setup. I didn't see if he hit the switch or not. He's kind of low on health, and this is a race, so he might have. Both players losing their bomb drop to the Kodongo in that room. That's funny. Cheamo getting past the squirrel on the way to the Death Mountain descent. Oh my goodness, Requiem. Whoa, okay. Oh no, Requiem. Oh, you hate to see it. He's gonna keep going, at least for now. We'll see. I hope he finishes out the race, but you know, this does not feel good, and I understand when people forfeit after situations like this. Moldoom, yes, thank you. Cheamo pulled some rupees out of a tree, by the way. He got blue rupees out of the first tree for some boring technical reasons. He's going to get red rupees out of the next tree because he's going to kill 4 enemies and not take any damage between tree pulls, which causes you to get red rupees out of the next tree pull. Requiem hit the switch this time. Let's go. Yeah, this fight is just super hard. Let's see, Requiem getting through it a little better. Yeah, that dash is kind of dangerous when he's going horizontal. Oh my goodness, that dash was also dangerous, but we got the boss down. Cheamo up to 108 rupees. I said earlier we need 110, and I was telling you the truth, but we get 6 for free in this dungeon. Unless Aries playing, in which case you only get 1. Oh, Cheamo taking a hit. That's unfortunate. I didn't see exactly what caused that, but generally if you're not exactly nudged up against the wall, you tend to, or you're at higher risk of getting hit there. You want to have full hearts here because sword beams make a bunch of these rooms faster, but it's not that big of a deal. And like, we're into the kind of part of this race where that sort of thing is not super likely to be relevant just because of what's already happened to Requiem. Like, saving 1 second in Aga Tower is not going to be the difference between winning or losing, unless some tragedy befalls cheamo of similar magnitude. Which does happen constantly, like all the time in these races. People are dying left and right. So that could certainly happen. I'm just saying that. Pretty big gap between these players right now. Old school 6-arrow strat. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, Kaz. It looked like he missed an arrow, but it would have been fast otherwise. My backup for not having beams in that room is really, really slow. Maybe I should learn that one. Good RNG on the Dark Catwalk. Requiem with his Master Sword. Oh, cheamo, I think just missed the A button or something. It looked like he was trying to dash turn, but just turned. Coming up on the Circle of Pots room here with these two guards. Oh, yeah. One of the hardest rooms in the game, surprisingly, to do correctly and fast. You have to do a lot of the most difficult stuff in the game, which is reading RNG really fast and picking up pots and throwing pots. And you have to do all of it. Yeah, I've seen that before, Kaz, but I've never tried to learn it. I actually do a dumb hybrid strat that I think saves like 30 frames on Din Din and costs 2 arrows. It's like probably really bad. Requiem's gonna enter with beams. Hopefully he'll be able to show us some beam strats in here. Actually, I hope he takes a hit in this room so he can show off the backup strat that he's so proud of in the next room. Aw. He has some kind of backup strat in this fairy skip room that he's always telling me about and that I've never paid any attention to. That's true, Tam. Yeah, it is frustrating. Requiem in the worst room in the game, less sarcastic this time. This room is full of annoying RNG like that. Just getting completely clobbered by everyone. Awful room. Cheamo's in the dumbest boss in the game. You can't really do anything. You just get unlucky. I haven't been counting, but you have to get these these yellow energy ball attacks. And if you get the blue ones like that split up instead of getting reflected back to Aghanim, you just lose a bunch of time and you can't do anything about it. Not a very interesting portion of the game. Yo, Requiem booming the heart. Is this 7? Oh, maybe we're only at 6. Looks like that was maybe 6 blue balls from cheamo. So 6 blue balls loses 42 seconds, I think. So Requiem could make up a big chunk of time here. Or not, you know. 6 blue balls is pretty unlucky. That's like pretty far out there in the chances. Like sub 10% chance to get luck that bad. So it's pretty likely that Requiem will save at least a few seconds here, but we'll see. I won't actually, because I won't count. But chat will count. cheamo now is into the Dark World. The game jumps up a lot in certain kinds of difficulty here. It's kind of odd as a speedrunner because the Light World is actually more difficult in some ways than large portions of the Dark World. There's a lot of precision and stuff in it, but in the Dark World, your mistakes tend to be much more expensive. So whereas messing up a room in the Light World will lose you a second, in the Dark World, it's pretty easy for messing up a room to kill you outright and lose you like a minute. Requiem, of course, showed off some ways to die and lose a minute in the Light World, but it's actually much more dangerous in the Dark World. Palace of Darkness. I think Palace of Darkness is pretty fun, but I think that's kind of a minority opinion. A lot of people think it's kind of boring, and it's really... Like Kaz was saying earlier about Desert, it's about spin speed RNG and Landmo RNG. Palace of Darkness is really about Hammer Jump and Helmasaur. Hammer Jump is the one major glitch that we allow in No Major Glitches. It's technically a major glitch, but it's grandfathered in under the NMG Treaty of 2017 into the No Major Glitches category. So, Cheamo's on his way to do that. Well, he has to get the big key first. I'm not paying attention to which step he's on. You go through this room so many times. But Hammer Jump is a double pixel perfect trick on the y-axis. The x-axis is a little more forgiving. But the bridge is falling while you're doing it. You'll see what I mean in a second. There's a falling bridge while you're doing the trick, and you have to line up and place a bomb and then get into position to get launched across it on a specific pixel. Very difficult trick to get good at. These runners are both, pretty high quality runners. They should both be pretty good at it. You can use menu buffers, we call them, just opening up the pause menu to make small corrections to your movement, because the bridge doesn't fall while you're menuing. I don't mind Hammer Jump. I think it's kind of fun, but I do think it's a little silly that it's included in the category. Good pod so far from Cheamo. I mean, it clearly doesn't belong. It's not like I'm the only one who thinks it doesn't belong. I think it's kind of fun that it's in, but it doesn't really fit in with the rest of the run at all. Cheamo going to come up to the back part of pod here. This is a pretty challenging portion of the run. Mimics are always difficult. There's a turtle room coming up in a second that's also difficult. And then Helmasaur has quite a lot of RNG and is also a very dangerous fight. Hard to get good at. Yeah, it is very unlike IPBG. You're correct. Thank you for explaining. IPBJ also skips a bunch of really interesting rooms. I'm sure I'd get bored of them if we didn't have IPBJ, but they're actually kind of fun. Cheamo getting through the turtles there, coming up on Helmasaur. Requiem, do the Hammer Jump. I was too busy arguing about Hammer Jump to actually watch Requiem do it. So Cheamo is slashing his sword here. That's presumably because he's going to do another spin speed here. By activating spin speed in this room, we don't have any stairs to let us go faster, but it does extend our hammer hitbox. Makes hitting Helmasaur a lot easier. Taking one hit, not a big deal. He can still take 2 more hits, or still survive 2 more hits. Should be fine. Yeah, there we go. Through with no problem. Did Requiem do something about his arrow problem? Okay, never mind. He just got lucky. So now we have synced cutscenes, which is the most fun part of commentating races. Everybody tell me how you feel about hovering in chat. The next dungeon Cheamo's about to head out into is Thieves Town. One of the easier Dark World dungeons, generally. There's sort of one room that's really, really RNG heavy and dangerous. Oh my gosh. Cheamo was 1/10 of a second off of gold there. Nice spot. Yeah, this is just like generally kind of an uneventful split in Thieves Town. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, because now something will happen like that. But generally taking damage in this split, you're not that worried about it until it happens to you a couple times. Because generally you can just kind of not get hit by stuff if you're playing pretty well. Requiem, I was not watching his Helmsor fight, but he still has full health, so I guess it went well. You haven't seen a hit from that Ropa. I have taken a hit from that Ropa. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong when it happens, but it has definitely happened to me. Cheamo talking to Stumpy, getting his shovel, gonna turn it into the flute. Cheamo is fine. Okay. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. His stream is being wonky for me. I don't know if that's happening on Restream as well, but I can't really see what's happening over there. So Requiem's making his way to Thieves Town as well. Neither player moving correctly to nudge against the tree there. Restream looks fine. Okay, we're back to the bird cutscene now on Cheamo's screen, so looks like nothing eventful occurred. He's pumping his flute. Okay, good. I love flute spamming. I did say Requiem got a gold escape, yeah. Is it better than yours? I assume so. Don't you have like a 555 or something? Cheamo now has completed, by the end of this sentence, he'll have completed the longest overworld in the game, and is now into the dungeon. Alright. Everybody pick your favorite animal and ask the bot for them. Oh, that lag was brutal. Oh, goodness. Cow time? It has a cow time. There's only one cow emote, and it has a whole thing for it. Oh my god. That's just all one person's emotes. I hate it here. Okay. Cheamo through the hellway. I was so busy being angry about the emotes that I didn't even catch the hellway. Somebody tell me how it went. Got to bomb open the attic here so that we can fight the boss. Oh. Okay. That actually went fine. I wonder if that was on purpose. It looked kind of like his movement got away from him. But maybe he was doing it on purpose. Maybe that's how he always does the room. Sometimes it can be hard to tell, because there's so many different ways to do a lot of these rooms. It can be hard to tell if they're like doing a strat that I haven't seen correctly, or if they like fumbled a strat that I do know and are backing it up. I have to grab Zelda from the cell. Get our big gloves here, which we're going to use, 3 times in the run? Very exciting item. Snore. Oh, good. Cheamo knows the backup. Yeah, you can bonk over that gap if you end up being a little slow there. Cheamo up against Blind, the boss fight here. This fight is... It should just be fine. It should just always go the same way. We should see almost exactly the same fight on both players' sides. Yep, good from Cheamo. Blind, yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. Not too much to say about it. Kind of a boring split. Yeah, if something goes wrong, the fight gets out of hand really fast. That's true, we are halfway through the video game. GG, everybody, you've made it halfway. You've been doing the hard work in chat, having to sit through this. Listen to me. Shitposting is hard work, yeah. I appreciate your dedication to your jobs. Next up, we have to get the Tempered Sword. This is one of the very few optional items we collect in the game, the other one being the Boomerang and the extra heart container in the Sanctuary. Tempered Sword does 2 things. It makes Ganon like 200,000 times faster. And it also makes everything else for the rest of the game a lot easier. Obviously, we wouldn't get it just to make things easier if it were slow, but it saves so much time on Ganon. It's unbelievable how much time it saves. We spend like 1.5 minutes going out of our way to get it here, and it makes up like almost all of that time just on Ganon alone. First, we have to turn this frog back into a dwarf and pay them $10, and then reload the screen. I know when I played this casually as a kid, I never knew what the trigger was for getting the dwarf to give me my stuff back. It's very, very anxiety-inducing. Now we're gonna fence dash. I think that's good. Yeah. And then we're gonna make our way up to Skullwoods. Master Sword only is like 52 swings. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It's something like that. Skullwood's a super confusing, long, tortuous dungeon. Tortuous dungeon. No R in there. Casually. We only visit like half of the rooms, though. We just kind of dip in, get our key, get our fire rod, and go. The only time I do dinosaur shopping, by which you mean dinosaur smiths, I assume, is when I'm racing against Kaznode. So we just gotta pair up again next season of League, and I'll do it. Everybody actually says in low leg you should drop into Ganon before NMG, and I'm pretty sure that like Zelna's and WQ's PBs in low legacy drop into Ganon before their NMG PBs. But there's also just a factor of like no vid, no did. Do you need me to pull screenshots from their vids? Another thing is just that like if you splice all the rooms together, the Tempered Sword saves less than if you actually do them all in a run, because it, as I said, makes everything a whole lot easier. Yeah, Retro, I was waiting for you to wake up so you can replace me. Now that you're here, I'm done. It's your shift. Cheamo doing strat here we call Joe Mummies. Nice, safe, good strat for this room. Cheamo into the moth fight. You can get 2 hits at the beginning there, but it's kind of tight. Oh, Cheamo, be careful. Oh, no. This fight gets so dangerous. Okay. Whew. So, ideally, you just sort of hit Moth 2 times at the beginning, and then you can kill her really fast before the room gets out of control. But if anything goes wrong, the spikes get moving, and the fight becomes really dangerous really fast. Cheamo was very close to dying there, but did manage to clean it up. Luckily for him, less luckily for Requiem. Shout out to Sankar. Yeah, I didn't really talk about that, but both players did get Sankar, which almost everybody does, especially in races. Both players are at 5.9x rupees, which means that they're going to get a little bit of extra lag. Nobody has the rupee lag advantage. Let's see if Requiem can have a little bit of a cleaner moth fight while Cheamo's making his way to Ice Palace. How much lag? 420. Cheamo, I'm pretty sure you have Cheamo's sound. Shooting the flute there before that transition. Makes the fire rod work a little bit better. Can you explain in higher detail about which one, rupee lag or spooky? Cheamo, going for the lottery dash there, not getting unlucky. This sequence here, this overworld, is very difficult. You really want to get into Ice Palace with full hearts because beams save a lot of time in several rooms. Nice quick fish from Cheamo. It would be good if somebody tested rupee lag on SNES Classic, but nobody's going to do that because I'm the only one who does anything around here, and I'm not going to do it. This screen, Zora's Domain here, really difficult screen to do optimally. Just a lot of places where you have to max. I might have died. I hope I didn't die. Bombable floor here in Ice Palace. Another room where you really want beams. Very difficult room. Looks like... Oh, yeah. That's not great. Gonna be fine, though. Had an extra bomb. Should be okay. Be reasonable. I don't know if Cheamo is watching the restream or Requiem's run or anything. It would be very reasonable to pick up safety bombs here. You're very far ahead. You just need to not have any catastrophes to win. He's also not like particularly close to being on PB pace or anything, so playing it very safe would be pretty reasonable. But just goes for it with one bomb. Looks good to me. Yeah. So that trick there, that bomb jump saves. I don't know exactly, like almost 2 minutes, 100 seconds, something like that. It's by far the biggest time save that's allowed in the run. Requiem also doesn't have beams, but I don't know why, because I've been watching Cheamo. Saves 420. Yeah, exactly. Cheamo coming up on Cold Stare. Cold Stare, very, very dangerous boss. Got sniped by Azora. Yeah, that happens. Looks like a better bombable floor for Requiem. Cold Stare here, this boss is super dangerous. We have strats that should just sort of eliminate Cold Stare before it gets a chance to do anything. But if you mess up slightly, the fight gets out of control almost instantly and becomes extremely dangerous. So hopefully it just goes smoothly for both players. This is definitely kind of a scary part of the run. Yep, there we go. See, now everything will kill Cheamo in one hit here. That was so scary. Oh my god. Okay, good cleanup. I wasn't scared. Nice penguin lineup from Requiem. That's actually one of the hardest rooms in the game. Stupidly. Requiem getting kind of a half and half clip there. What are we rec pleasing about? Was it the pause buffers and IPBJ? Icebreaker is a glitch that lets you get through Ice Palace in a different way. It lets you take the right path and clip through a barrier in the middle of the room, but it's not allowed in this category. Requiem falling into Cold Stare. Hopefully it'll look a little cleaner than cheamo's. Looks fine from there. Yep. So, Cheamo is going to get the Ether Medallion here. We have to collect the Ether Medallion and the Ice Rod, and we have some freedom of choice on where exactly we collect these two items. I think these runners, it looks like they're both going to do the same thing. You can get Ether here or in Mire Split, and you can get Ice Rod anytime before Turtle Rock. Looks like Cheamo's just going to get only the Ether Medallion here. We'll get Ice Rod. Looks like in Turtle Rock? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, the wiki's dead. Hopefully it will come back at some point. Requiem also heading up to get his Ether Medallion, dashing straight into a squirrel for some reason. I don't know what he was hoping would happen there. Taking 2 parts of damage from these boulders. Yeah, okay. That's what Death Mountain is like. Truly is a metaphor for life, yeah. Because just like in real life, you're constantly getting pelted by cabbages. So Swamp Palace is kind of a funny dungeon. It's in some ways very easy, in the sense that like you're almost never gonna like die. Like you're gonna get through it. Everything's gonna be fine. But it's very, very easy to just bleed time everywhere. Every room has a bunch of enemies in it. Not literally every room, but most of the rooms have a bunch of enemies in it. Enemies in this game have tons of RNG for the most part. It's very easy to just like run into some RNG that you don't know how to deal with. You haven't seen it before, or you forgot, or you mess up slightly or whatever, and you get hit, and then you try to recover, and you scramble, and everything goes wrong, and you end up losing a second. It's easy for that to just like happen a bunch of times in a row. So, kind of an easy dungeon to just like get through, but a very, very difficult dungeon to do optimally. Yeah, I see Twin is feeling really positive about Link to the Past today. She's got a lot of positive feelings to say about this video game. Requiem also joining fun. The laugh riot of Swamp. Cheamo, remembering to hit the switch on the way out. Very important. You do not want those blocks to be the wrong direction later. Cheamo, that berry is still alive after all those trips through the room. Oh my goodness. We're going to get to see him in extra time. Yeah, so in addition to being full of annoying enemies, you also have to do a bunch of swimming in this dungeon, which is stupid and sucks, just like it does in every video game. And you also are in water a lot of the time, and you move slower in water, which makes some kind of movement sort of funny. It sort of feels funny. It's kind of slow, kind of annoying. Just like a lot of things about this dungeon are like, you know, little pinpricks of annoyance. These runners might high five in the lobby. I love high fives. It's funny! You're right. Finally killing the berry. Get destroyed, berry. You deserve that. Cheamo collecting the hookshot, the prize of this dungeon. Kind of high-fiving. Not really going over the same terrain, but, you know, they can holler at each other. Yeah, see, that's one of those stupid RNGs in this dungeon. That guy can just spawn there, and if you're not, like, prepared fully for whether you need to slash or not, sometimes you just get hit. That red berry, also really cool enemy. Everyone loves that guy. So a couple of rooms from now, we're coming up on the boss, which is Argus. There's a way to kill Argus really fast in what we call 0 cycles. I don't know if Cheamo goes for it. I'm pretty sure Requiem does go for it. Cheamo grabbing a bomb there, which he needed, and arrows, which are good to have. His arrow count was actually quite low, so that's good. Requiem about to get his hookshot. Let's see what Cheamo goes for here. Yep, going for the 0 cycle. Oh, drops the hookshot there. So the 0 cycle is a pretty difficult trick. You have to hold your sword out and then do what's called an item dash, where you press item and dash on the same frame. And then you have to do a bunch of like carefully timed hookshots after that. Okay, wow, that was almost a 2 cycle, but keeps it down to 1. Messing up his fire rod strat. That fire rod strat's very difficult. It only saves about a second, but that's pretty fun to go for. The 2 cycle is sometimes called the Yoho Argus, but nobody can remember why. Requiem picking up bomb and arrows as well. I guess just for safety. Requiem getting hit by 2 Phelps on his way west. That's fun. Requiem going for the 0 cycle here. Keeping it together so far. He almost always does this where he bails early and re-hooks from the left. Didn't work that time though. Oh, that's an interesting way to do the fire rods in phase 2. Alright, so Requiem with a little bit cleaner swamp, gaining some time on Cheamo, who had a little bit of trouble in a few places. Cheamo into Meyer. Meyer is everything deals you 1,000,000 damage, and we take a ton of intentional damage. But there's not like a lot of RNG to worry about. So, you know, if you don't make any mistakes, everything's fine. But if you make any mistakes, it gets bad really fast. That spectacle, we're all here for it, yeah. Yeah. Maybe Requiem will just pick up the magic and then quit, glitch into Ganon. As long as we get to see him pick up the magic, it's all worth it. Meyer is a consistent split. It should be. It should be. But it's definitely easy to lose your mind. Scoopel would know about that. He can explain. 530 plus 31 equals 601. Correct. Did cheamo walk into a bomb? Oh, Requiem didn't hold A long enough to start his dash, and now this room is going to be a nightmare. So torches, when you light the last torch in this room, you have a 17-second cutscene, so people often take stock and check their time and stuff. It should be a little over 20 minutes-ish from lighting the torches to finishing the game. Doing it in 20 minutes without having the ice rod already is very difficult. It'll probably be a little bit more for these players since neither of them have either the ice rod or a 123. But it's just a nice little place to take stock and think about how much faster your run could have been if you hadn't made any mistakes. We're getting to Basement of Misery Mire. I guess I could try to talk about Spooky. So they're going to kick up dust before placing this block in the first basement room. And that's because they set a value in memory earlier. Anyway, long story short, this fire rod is going to hit this spike, and then that's going to have a sort of delayed effect upwards. Oh, that's an interesting way to do this. Sort of splash damage from the fire rod is desynced from where you actually hit, and it hits an off-screen switch. Like that. It's playing Ancilla slots right now. I don't really want to. It's hard to do a good job explaining Ancilla. Vitreous, like the rest of this dungeon, should go the same pretty much every time, but if you mess anything up, you die. Good fight from cheamo, though. I said that before he's done with the fight. It's not really that dangerous once you get the small eyeballs dead. Look, I did a whole tutorial about Ancilla, and before I did it, I specifically looked up the pronunciation of the plural of Ancilla, so I think I know how the word is pronounced. Take it up with Merriam-Webster. Requiem, having a little trouble with this spike. cheamo now going to enter... Well, he's going to get his Fire Rod and then go to Turtle Rock, the final dungeon of the game. Well, the final crystal dungeon of the game. Requiem missing an eyeball on the left there. Will he go for the hero arrow? Yes, but he misses it. Good try, though. So not the greatest Vitreous fight from Requiem, but he didn't die, which is the main thing to think about. Slightly cleaner mire from cheamo, but pretty similar all told. So Turtle Rock starts with a Death Mountain climb, which means that it's super fun and everybody loves it. You actually have to go through more screens with squirrels on them than you do in any other split, which is really fun. Oh, nice double hook from cheamo. Very good. And nice delay there to let the boulder go by. Good, good, good work. he's going to get to this cave without taking any damage. Alright, Requiem is going to get Ice Rod, and he's going to place the bomb so early on this screen, it's going to blow your mind. Going to place it on the first possible pixel. Interesting. Cheamo's actually going to enter Turtle Rock with full hearts, which is really nice and pretty rare. Turtle Rock is, you know, kind of a lot like the rest of the dungeons in the Dark World where everything wants to kill you. Except now there's also actually quite a lot of RNG and stuff to worry about. A lot of very difficult rooms, some of which are difficult because they're just tight. Some are difficult because there's a bunch of RNG or stuff you need to either react to or memorize. Oh, Cheamo accidentally hooking up instead of left. That's funny. Getting through these rollers. Oh, that's not actually damage he wants to take. I wonder if he'll go for it or mirror out here. Yeah, he's just going to mirror out. Normally we do a deboost off of a different roller in that room, but once that room gets thrown off, it's pretty common. I think most people just mirror out rather than trying to wing it on the way back out. It's probably faster to wing it and figure out a way through the rollers, but it's pretty dangerous if you mess it up. So you need to chain chomps. One of the hardest rooms in the game. Tons of RNG. These things hit like a truck. They block your beams. Yeah, Cheamo was worried about getting his beam blocked, and I think it threw him off when it didn't. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. We're through. Alright, Requiem coming up on his favorite room, but it's not his favorite room until the second time through. Neither player hookshotted to the left. I don't understand what's happening here. Oh my god, Requiem. Requiem, you go back into that room and you pick up that magic. Just go all the way back to the right and grab it. Oh my god. I can't believe he's trying to evade arrest like this. You're letting Scoople down. How dare you? That's a bonk. Okay, yeah, Cheamo realizes it. Requiem with a much cleaner chomps here. Saving significant time and stress on Cheamo. Cheamo to double pokies. This room, each pokey can go one of 4 ways at the beginning, and the rest of its like trajectory is set. So that's 16 patterns to memorize, which is pretty fun to practice. This crystal roller room is another room where it's just like pretty tight to get through it optimally, but very good from Cheamo. He's gonna be able to squeeze no trouble. Oh, Requiem got the down left RNG and probably went for a strat of mine that he keeps hyping up but messed it up, so I shouldn't have let anybody know that it was mine because now I feel like it's my fault. Anyway, it's all Requiem's fault. Don't blame me. The run is ruined now. It was ruined when he didn't get the Requiem magic. Cheamo on laser skip. You're supposed to have the mirror shield and block those lasers, but he doesn't have the mirror shield, so we just skip it. Cheamo missing the item dash. Classic item dash to miss. It's the hardest item dash to hit in the whole game, I think. Lasers are only somewhat real. That's true. The hitbox on lasers is like 4 pixels wide or something. It's really, really tiny. Trinex fight here should be pretty straightforward. One of many fights in the game that has a pretty manageable strat. It's like not too difficult and takes care of most of the danger of the fight. And if you mess up that strat, then you're kind of screwed. But it went fine for Cheamo. Clean up phase 2 pretty well as well. And with that, we're going to rescue our 7th maiden. I think this one is actually Zelda, but I don't really know the lore. And we're going to go to Ganon's Tower. RequiemOfSpirit hitting the impossible item dash. Let's go. Who's Zelda? Zelda's the guy who gave us our flippers earlier. Requiem taking a hit from the Trinex head there. I think that's actually basically always correct. If you're in that position, it's so important to just kill the ice head. Taking the damage doesn't really matter. And Trinex is down for both players. Now we're into the last dungeon. Oh, okay. Cheamo taking 4 hearts damage. That shouldn't be that big of a deal. Ganon's Tower is like not really that deadly of a dungeon. Everything really only hits you for small portions of damage, but it can definitely get out of hand. Some of the combat rooms later with ice and lasers and all sorts of spikes and stuff, it's easy to lose a lot of health if things go wrong, but it shouldn't be. I don't know, I wouldn't be worried yet really about my health if I were Cheamo. Dungeon, super fun. I think most people's favorite dungeon in the game, most speedrunners' favorite dungeon. Certainly the plurality choice. The basement is very movement oriented, and then the climb is very combat oriented. So it's a good mix of stuff. And then one of the hardest things in the game, the final boss of the dungeon, just like super RNG, very, very difficult fight to do correctly, do fast. Correct isn't really the right word. It's not something you can just learn. It's a very read and react RNG heavy boss, but we'll get to that in a minute. Cheamo down another heart. Not ideal. He might, if he knows it, he might opt to do a strat in the first room of the climb that saves a couple hearts. Normally we take 3 hearts of damage at the beginning of the climb, but you can do a heart neutral strat where you take 1 point of damage and gain 1 health back. We'll see what he goes for. Requiem, meanwhile, beginning his descent into the dungeon. Cheamo has to get these arrows. Goes for kind of a safe way of getting them. You need 18 arrows. This is we have to refight all of the light world bosses here, but with worse environments. So Armos is on ice, so we call it Ice Armos. Very cleanly done. It's another fight that shouldn't really be a problem, but if it is a problem, it's a really big problem. Cheamo getting the big key and opting to get the arrows. You can climb with 9 arrows, but it's pretty iffy to go upstairs with only 9 arrows. And especially when you're this far ahead in a race, why risk it? Oh yeah, he does know the heart neutral strat, yeah. So this is the room where normally we just like walk across the spikes for a while and take 3 damage. But Cheamo opting to take a 0 net damage strat. Lose a little bit of time for a lot of safety. Very reasonable. Requiem not opting to get the mic chest. Walks into his own bomb. That's alright. And then Cheamo is about to be in what we call the Gauntlet, which is 5 consecutive combat rooms with increasingly bad environments. One of the most challenging parts of the game. One of the places where the top runners really, really shine. Yeah, see, a little bit of trouble there in Gauntlet 1. They're just, like every room full of enemies, there's a lot of RNG, because enemies are just very random. And these rooms also have horrific environmental hazards. So, really difficult rooms. Nice, Gauntlet 3. There we go. Getting back on track. See if we can finish it out. Getting bad RNG from that top Zazak. That strat just sort of doesn't cover that RNG. But good Gauntlet 5, so not too bad overall. Into Landmo 2, this is the Landmolus refight this time. This one's not much worse. There's just a pea shooter in the corner. Oh, pretty unfortunate luck from that second Landmo, but not a big deal. Requiem dashing into a spike there. He's actually a little bit low in health. Should be fine, but lower than you want to be. So Cheamo out of the Gauntlet and back into non-combat room. Well, I guess they are combat rooms. They don't really feel like it, but you are killing a lot of enemies. You just kind of break a Samaria block and they all go poof. You don't have to worry about it too much. Requiem, oh, I missed the first 2 rooms of his Gauntlet. Gauntlet 3 looks good. Cheamo doing Torches 1. One of the hardest rooms in the game to do really fast. Oh, nice lamp dash. Let's go. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, Requiem with a pretty clean last few rooms of Gauntlet anyway. Actually, the same time into Landmo 2, the same time on this segment timer. Both had 424 Landmo 2 entries. So Cheamo is going to have to get this key here. I didn't really talk about it, but you have your choice of keys in this dungeon. Cheamo opting for this key. Requiem, I'm pretty sure, got the torch key. This is a Moldorm refight. I said earlier that it's the Light World refights with worse geometry, but I think this one's actually better geometry. It's like easier. An easier platform to fight on. But maybe that's just because we have the Tempered Sword and the hookshot. Requiem also lamp dashing. Oh, and had extra magic because of... No, I don't know why. He had extra magic, so he got to skip the pot. Cheamo into Aghanim 2. Really, really difficult fight. You have to hit him with... it's a lot like Aga 1, except there's clones now. Oh, okay. That only counted as 1 damage, unfortunately. I'm pretty confident. Oh, nice triple, though. That should be 4 hits. Requiem down a bomb. That's not very poggers. Very nice 3-cycle from Cheamo. First cycle didn't go great, but really knocked it out of the park on the second and third cycles. Ideally, you can kill Agatu in 2 cycles, but a lot of the time it's not actually possible. He has to give you yellow ball on the second round, which is a 50-50 chance. And sometimes even so, you can't really get all 6 shots, but 3 cycles always good. That's a nice fat gold Ganon's Tower from Cheamo, very nice. And we're dropping into Ganon. We gotta hit Ganon a bunch of times with our sword, and then he'll die. That movement scared me really badly. I'm sure he does it every time and knows that it works, but I've never seen it before, and it did not look like it was gonna work. Nailed the 1-in-1. We're through the first 2 cycles of Ganon and into the 3rd cycle. Requiem looks like a double on the first cycle of Agatu. Looks like a double on the second cycle. Can we clean it up in 3? Oh, no. This should be a 4 here, I think. Yeah. 4 cycle Aga 2, not really what you're looking for, but not terrible. Nothing to worry about. Cheamo a little bit too far away for that spin to hit. So by lighting that left torch before the right torch went out, the right torch will never go out in this fight. And now we can do these carefully positioned and timed spins for, about 40 seconds or whatever. Spin, spin, spin. Light torch, spin, spin, spin. Looks like his rhythm's a little off, not really landing triples here. You could get 3 spins per lamplight if you're really gaming. But yeah, this should be Cheamo's win here in just a second. Just a couple more spins to clean up, and that'll be that. There we go. GG to Cheamo. Oh, I didn't see what happened to Requiem, but the pig is still spinning his trident, which is not supposed to be happening on the top of the screen. So Cheamo is finished with a 128.29 according to his timer. $128.32 according to race time. Gotcha. Requiem there doing 2 fire rod shots because it makes him feel better. Oh, I've never seen a Peepo leave with a door before. Nice. Requiem doing his cleanup spins here. Cleanup spins. That's not really a good way to put it. Requiem cleaning up this fight with a bunch of spins. Doing a good job of it. Almost done. There we go. GG. I'm not going to spoil the time, though. I'll let the bot do it. So Cheamo said that he will come in and chat. Requiem has not said if he wants to chat or not. Looks like he will join us. All right. It's kept it pretty close there given what happened. Just a little over a minute between the runners. With a Moldorm death and a double Ready's death. So definitely saved some time over Cheamo in parts of that run. Yoho would also love to chat with anyone. No, don't chat with Yoho. He'll like it too much. We can't have that. Both players said they're going to join us, and there's nobody here for me to talk to. There's probably somebody at Requiem's door again. That's fine, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's what I meant to check earlier. Oh, there's Requiem. Hello, Requiem. GG.
Oh, GG. Oh, wait, Cheamo isn't here yet.
No, he needed a minute. So, sorry about that. Not too bad though. Given the light world. Hey, Cheamo, GG.
GG's.
GG's, Cheamo.
GG's.
Nice run. Nice Ganon gold. That's a pretty big gold. Or sorry, Ganon's Tower gold.
It's strange to bonk and run into the Lionel at the start of a stretch and then gold it. I feel like there's probably some time to drop yet in GT.
Yeah, you could definitely save some more time in there.
Yeah.
Oh no, we have echoes.
Wait, where is it echoing from?
I don't know. I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, that was a fun run. I think I was thinking when I was at 1 heart in Eastern, I was like, it would really suck to die here. And then when I saw that arrow just not damage the Igor, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, Eastern's a killer. That I felt like it was a pretty tough matchup for me, like all of these have been. So that gave me a chance. I'm surprised how close it was at the end. I guess I blew a lot of splits probably.
Yeah, I feel like I could have brought it closer, but there were just so many mistakes in all of my late game splits. I think like the mid Dark World was fine. There were some good splits there, but in the late game, I just kept losing time in every split.
Yeah.
The fans were very disappointed that you mirrored out of Roller Room.
I do have like a formula for that room where if I don't see enough, if I don't like see like a clear path, if the roller is too far to the right, I just don't bother and I mirror out. I don't want to waste time thinking about it.
But you could have gone back for the magic anyway, for the fans. I don't know if did either of you have. Well, I guess it sounds like Cheamo was watching either the restream or Requiem stream.
Yeah, I was watching Requiem's.
Gotcha. Were you watching anything Requiem, or are you just heads down doing the run?
I was popping in from time to time. Like whenever there was downtime, I would open the tab again, see where things were. But yeah, after the death to Moldorm, I was like, all right, let's just not look at this until like, I don't know, Skullwoods or something.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was a good race.
Yeah, I was only slightly disappointed that I couldn't show off the best magic to grab in Turtle Rock, but I was also extremely disappointed that I got hit by the bunny beam in Poke's 1.
At least you got to show off the extremely optimal Ice Rod Cave overworld that you were talking so much about.
Yeah. I had to extend that dash because there was too many crabs there. So unfortunately I couldn't, but hey. Everyone should watch FMG. That screen, there's a few more frames to squeeze out of that screen. It's all set up to grab the magic. I'm saving all the frames everywhere else so I can spend those frames on the magic.
It's a lot of frames you got to save. I get it. You each got a gold. I think you only got one each. Requiem golded the escape. Never a good sign for a run.
Yeah, definitely not.
I golded Escape and I also fake golded Palace of Darkness. It was a fake gold because I skipped the first bomb because at the cost of dying in Hera and grabbing the bomb again, I was able to gold by less than a second in Palace of Darkness.
Right. Makes sense.
What gold did you get, Cheamo?
GT.
Oh,
3.5 seconds. And I think I had a 2-cycle Landmost too, so I was down like 5 hearts. Yeah, I still have some time to save in GT.
Yeah, you got hit by a Lionel, and I was saying this on comms. I was saying I don't know if you knew, I didn't at that point know if you knew the heart neutral strat, but I was thinking like you're pretty far ahead in the race. It makes a lot of sense to do it, and you got to show that off. Which, I think was a really good race decision, but obviously your gold could have been even bigger.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's a couple seconds itself. I played AD one time, so I know that strat.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It
yeah,
was,
no, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. It just Aghanim kind of gave me a shot with like the 4 blue ball difference. Maybe if I played better in the Dark World, it might have been a bit closer. I feel like just all the splits in the end game just weren't good enough, or good at all, to be fair.
Yeah, League Season 1, I had, or whatever this is, I had 0 blue balls like every race. And this time it's been like 7 or 8 every time. It's kind of disheartening a little bit.
I don't know if anyone's been tracking that. Last time it was clear who the winner was of most blue balls because Shady got like 19 total or something. But I don't know if anyone's been tracking it this time.
Yeah. I doubt I'm the worst, but it hasn't been great, that's for sure.
Yeah, Matt got a lot one time, yeah. Yeah, do you guys have anything else you want to say? This is last week of the league. Thanks both for playing. I know obviously didn't go super great for either of you since you were here in the 03 bracket, but I hope you had some fun anyway.
Yeah, thanks to everyone for putting it on. It's been a fun time. I definitely have felt like I'm out of place in the Dark World division. I need to improve my PB by like a minute or something, probably.
Well, get cracking.
Yeah, that was the goal at the start of this month. Oh.
Thanks for setting this all up. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get to participate in like a 4-way race. Those look like so much fun. I feel like I would have been less stressed as well. But yeah, I don't know. Just doing Landmo and Moldorm in races, I just cannot apparently.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Looking forward to next league season, whenever that might be.
I just noticed Requiem golded his escape, and I think this is the worst escape I've had like this year. It was like 6 flat, but it was just like bad everything.
Yeah, Requiem had a pretty big lead until he died in double readies.
Yeah, that was that was pretty unfortunate.
Oh yeah, I was actually wondering about that. So you were in Oko at that point, and I was wondering if you were going to stop for a heart, and then you didn't. And I wondered if it was confidence or not knowing how to get them.
I guess I just completely forgot about it. I was just doing the run like I would normally. In which case I would be like, well, I died there, I'd reset. But yeah, I was focusing too much on the fact that I had little health rather than how to fix it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't feel too confident in the Dark World bracket either. But I definitely underestimated how nervous being in a race would make me, and I feel like even the races where I didn't die anywhere, it was just pretty poor performance in most splits.
That's tough. It's a whole different kind of thing. You know, it feels different than just doing runs alone. All right, well, anyone else got anything to say before we throw it back over to our restreamer to wrap things up? No? All right, well, thanks everyone for playing. Thanks for watching. Thanks ESR for hosting us, and I'll pass it back to baseball.
Awesome, thank you. All right, before we wrap up, I just want to thank our runners one more time, Requiem and cheamo, and of course our commentator, Fox. Very fun. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for watching. Coming up tomorrow, hopefully on ZSR, we have another one of these, A Link to the Past races between DoomTap and, wow, Fox. That will be at 5:01 Eastern. Hopefully we get a restreamer for that. Tomorrow is tough for obvious reasons if you're in the US. So yeah, looking forward to that race. All right. In the meantime, I am going to raid us over to Rosalindis, who is playing some Link to the Past rando. So I hope you all enjoy that. And thank you all so much for watching today and hanging out. And I hope that I will see you next time. See ya.